Hello, everybody, and welcome to another installment of Coming Into Being. So, I will just type in my message as always, and then we can get started. Hey, Ilaria, good to see you. Good evening. Uh, but we still have a lot of daylight left. It's threw me off a little bit coming here. Yeah, nice to have you here too. So, it's it say it's daylight and sunlight has such a strong way of affecting us in a good way. It really enlivens us. It really brings that vitality, and it's I kind of switched over. I went a little further north, and it's about an hour difference in daylight, so it's kind of funny to have that difference, when you make a big jump like that and get used to, you have to reorient. And I keep wanting to, like, I'm not ready for bed because it's still daylight, kind of thing. So some of you are earlier in the day. I don't know. So let's see, 9, 6. Yeah, for some people, it might be about noon for the West Coast in the U.S. But it's always good to, whatever time of day it is, to just come into to ourselves and come into being. Hey, Vanessa, good to see you. So here comes the time. I don't know if you can hear that, but we've got the church, the local church that rings the hour and the half hour, long-standing tradition, 24/7. So you always kind of know what time it is, and it's a really interesting thing. Hey, Matthew, uh, aloha, good morning to you. Yeah, in Hawaii, that's like 9 o'clock in the morning. Pretty good, but it's very interesting because since there's that live clock, uh, in some ways, it, well, it's interesting because I can tell if I'm really in a deeper state because it takes longer to go from the hour to the half hour or whatever to till the next ringing of the bell. And sometimes it happens really quickly, and sometimes it happens slower. So it's really interesting because it's always a half hour interval. But having that brings about that awareness of, are you in a deeper state for yourself? Are you more connected? Are you more present in the moment? Because when we become more present in the moment, uh, it's like time slows down. Time speeds up because we're like, we're going getting ahead of ourselves. We're like always kind of running around in our minds and getting ahead of ourselves and stuff. So uh, really coming into the present moment. Hey, Elizabeth, good to see you. Is really good to just calm everything down, even our perception of time. We survived the blood moon eclipse. Yeah, good for you. um, yeah, it's Hawaii blood moon eclipse. So, did you have could you see the eclipse? I don't know where you're, like on the other side of the world from me. So, wondering how that was. I'm not even sure what time of day. I think it was early morning. Ilaria, do you know? Because I know you were kind of following that. What time the eclipse was, and we only had a partial eclipse, I think, in our. Wanted to see it. Um, wasn't trying to see it. Yeah, sometimes I've seen like the full eclipse where the moon really looks. I remember seeing that where the moon just looks really red. It was really. I was out in North Carolina at the time, and it was just right there in the sky. So, yeah, 3 a.m. That's what I thought. So I was. I don't know. I can't remember either asleep or awake. could have been awake, but anyways. So, well, let's get started. And whatever time of day it is for you, it's always a good time to come and connect in with yourself and just be really present with yourself. This little tight shoulder here. Okay. So take a couple deep breaths in. Feel into the rhythm of your breath. Let yourself just feel into how your breath is, how deep your breath goes, how shallow it is, and don't need to change it, but just become aware of that. How are you breathing, like from upper chest? Are you able to take those nice deep breaths in from the bottom of the lungs, which is the bottom of the ribs kind of thing, almost? And if you're able to breathe fully, then it's like the air will grow. It's like your breath grows from the bottom of the lungs into the top, fills up, and then and then contracts back in. So let's take a moment to really just sit and be present with our breath. And hey, Kayla. Hello, hello. And lunchtime for some of us, so it's like also good to just stop, connect with yourself before you eat, to really got to be present so that your digestion can work more fully. But right now, focusing on the breath, there's a whole movement that happens in the chest cavity with the diaphragm releasing down so that the lungs can fill up the cavity as you breathe in, and as you exhale, the diaphragm pushes up, and that helps to contract the lungs and all the air out of the lungs. And we were talking about this the other day, but a clearing breath to do is to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, and with you can just intend in your mind that as you breathe out, you just release out just all the old stuff, whether it's old energy, old thoughts, old whatever, everything that came before this present moment. And each breath is this present moment. So as you focus in on your breath and let yourself be aware of your body at the same time. See if you can be aware, top of your head down to your feet. And notice if anything else is moving, is shifting with the breath. If you get to a very still point in your mind, really slow that mind down, then you'll notice a rhythm that goes along the spine with the cranial sacral fluid movement along with the breath, and there's this is like your head up here and your sacrum down here. It's like there's a little bit of a rocking back and forth. Breathing in, it's like there's an arching of your back, and the sacrum and the head. I'm having a hard time talking and explaining this and feeling it. The occiput area of your head, so the lower back head and the sacrum expand out, and then on the exhale they can contract in, so it's a little bit of a movement like this. And if your head is tight, or if any part of your spine is tight, then you won't feel that that movement won't really be there. There won't be that fluidity in that movement. So Ilaria's question, can you address the malabsorption and nourishment, sorry, food supplements and emotions life, so to speak? Well, all of that comes into play, doesn't it? So, that's a really complex subject, but basically all of that comes into malabsorption, which is the absorption of nutrients and nutrition, just on a physical level. So keep focusing on your breath as I'm talking. Let yourself kind of just relax more into your body. All starts with chewing. All starts with the saliva and the chewing in the mouth. So nobody chews this much, but if you really want to get that absorption going, really want to digest your food better, you take a mouthful and you chew it for 60 times so that your food is getting broken down by the saliva in your mouth, by the chewing, and then that starts the process of digestion and processing of nutrients, and all the way down to your stomach and then through your intestines. A lot of malabsorption issues is in the small intestine. So the emotions come into play in the gut. A lot of people carry a lot of emotional. Well, okay, so right. Unfortunately, me and my son gobble down foods as if we dismiss them, as if we dismiss emotion. Like, well, yeah. So you might not be able to do a whole lot by your son doing that, but you can do that for yourself. So the breathing, slowing the breath down, taking time before you sit down to eat, to really come into the present moment. So whether it's foods or supplements, if you're not taking the time to like slow down and take in, your supplements aren't going to be as effective as they could be. So that's that is what it is. So let's really focus on all this coming into the present moment, time and space, right here, right now. Not what happened yesterday, not what even is happening across from you. That's another space. Your space is right here, your physical body. Time is whatever time it is where your physical body is. Then stop eating standing up. That's you just. You can always sit down in the living room if you don't have a family proper. It's like you've got a lot of excuses there and a lot of reasons for not doing it properly. So change that around. If you don't have proper dining room table, then sit on your living room couch and sit and stop yourself. So all of those are problems, are answers to the malabsorption issue that you're posting. Okay, so I'll get to the questions in a minute. Good questions. Another good question popped up. So let's really just take a breath. Let's get out of the head and get into our physical bodies, our physical presence. So I'm hearing, well, our heads are part of our physical bodies. Yes and no. Your head, your brain, but the mental processing, the mental runaround is not. That's not physical level. So I'm talking about the physical body. Everything gets affected by meditation, by breathing, by slowing down our breath, by slowing down our mind, whether it's the vagus nerve or anything else, your blood pressure, your mental runaround, focusing on your breath, trying to solve a problem, trying to come up with some solution for what you think is a problem. It's all, it's not it's getting processed in here, but it's happening here. So clear that out. Clear that out by taking a deep breath in. Holding it and then releasing it out through the mouth. Notice how much your mind, your monkey mind, as some of you call it, your mental processing, how much your thoughts resist going into that quieter space. And just keep breathing into that and noticing that. And just kind of pull in your awareness to inside your body. See if you can pull in enough to feel the energy that's causing you to go da 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 da. That's not inside your body, or it's usually around, outside of your skin, the outside of your skin, not on the inside of your skin. And inside meaning inside your body, right? And if you feel inside of you is this pulling up, this, each time you relax your awareness back down, there's a pulling back up, pulling deeper. Come more into the center, to the core. And bring your awareness down lower, lower abdomen, your sacrum, your tailbone, your hips, your pelvic floor, even down through the legs, your feet. Feel those toenails. Feel the joints in your toes. And notice that not just the joint in your big toes. Feel your toes. This is very important for balance. Now let yourself sink into the moment, sink into your body. Let yourself relax down. If you need to, take another deep breath in, hold it, exhale it out completely. You squeeze all that air out of your breath, out of your lungs. Keep squeezing it until it comes back in automatically. You have to think about it. You haven't pushed all the air out. That's pushing out all that carbon, carbon dioxide. So that you can, on your next breath, inhale more oxygen into your system. So if you have a swarm of bees in your head, pull in deeper. You know, Laurie, I think you think too much. I think you just have you have a monkey mind, and you're finding it's like you're trying to find every explanation as to why your head is going around like circles. And actually, if you were just to bring your energy down, it would make a huge difference for you. It might not take care of the problem completely, but you have so much resistance to coming into your body. So just work with that. So start with the top of your head and slowly move your way down through your head into the neck. Slowly work all the way down. You probably are not able to jump down all the way to even your lower back. So just move on down slowly. Go down the vertebrae in the neck. Put your awareness one at a time further down. You've got so much fear in your system to coming in. That's a big piece of what's going on for you. So forget the labels. Forget trying to put labels to it, because that really gets you absolutely nowhere. If anybody who pays attention to their thoughts, and not the thought content, not thought itself, but how much they're thinking, and works with going into finding that stillness in the mind, is going to think exactly what you're thinking. Because when you start noticing how much your head is going da 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 all the time, and you try to come into that still place where you're not thinking, where all that's going in, the only sound that's coming through your head is the sound of your breath. And you really see all those thoughts that come up, you're going to think you have a personality disorder, or that you're OCD or ADD or whatever else you want to go in there. Hi, Diana. We're just focusing on the breath coming into this moment. So So just focusing in on the breath, bringing your awareness down as low as you can in your body without jumping back up. If it's only down to your clavicles, that's a good start. Start there and try to work a little further down. If you can drop down all the way down to your solar plexus, that's even better. All the way down to your pubic bone or the tailbone, that's even better. You can let yourself drop all the way down to your feet. Even better. If you can hold all of those points in your mind's awareness at the same time, that's pretty good. Well, let yourself feel as if you're just in a hammock. And you're swaying. There's just that light swaying back and forth. Staying with the breath, staying with the points I mentioned earlier. It's one at least. Try adding another one. So you got the clavicles, the bottom of the ribs. Oh, let's do the tailbone. That adds a little bit of more complexity. You can see if you can do at least two of those points, or all three. If you can't be lost here, you've got your body, you're in your body. There's only one thing that feels lost. Is the part that has been trying to dominate. It is stepping into an arena where it doesn't dominate. It's going to feel lost. Coming back to the breath. You know, if you need to, take a nice deeper breath in, holding it at the top, and then releasing it out. And then coming back into that regular rhythm. Seeing if you can drop your awareness to a lower point in your body. And if your mind kicks in with a thought, take a deep breath in, hold it, exhale out completely. Give yourself a fresh start. Come back into the breath. Feel, feel that definition of the body and the skin. You've got this little physical mold. Feel the shape of it. Become aware of the shape of it from the inside. Pull in to awareness within that. And if you're feeling kind of jittery or whatever, antsy, and you know that your environment is kind of antsy and all over the place, then your awareness is still out of your body. At least your focused awareness is out here. It needs to be inside. And it can be inside as you're focusing on those 3 points I brought up earlier. The mental aspect will be able to come up with 1,000,000 times 1,000,000 valid, logical, reasonable explanations, reasons, detailed explanations that would fill up all the libraries in the world on why you can't come into being, why you can't come into that stillness. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it necessarily true. It's just a reason. And the closer you come in, sometimes you'll feel kind of this jitteriness that comes up. It's kind of a waveriness. As you get closer to that central alignment, that alignment to your core, your center. And you stay focused on connecting with yourself, connecting with your physical body, connecting deeper in that core channel. I call it the core channel. People have different names for it. And that's where your pure essence runs through you. So that connection to, it's a pure source, that pure thread of pure existence that runs through you, right at the core center of your being. I'm pulling more deeply into that. Like putting a camel through the eye of a needle and just going deeper and deeper, narrowing, it feels like it's narrowing yourself in. Because instead of being all out here, It's pulling everything towards that, because this is the place for you to be. And you can hit this point where you feel like you're coasting, just coasting. It's like when you hit that point, that coasting, it's like your breath is on automatic, everything's on automatic. State of being is on automatic. Because something deeper is taking charge. Even it gets to feeling like something is breathing you. That's, you start to feel that all of you, your spirit, breathing your physical body. Really coming into that calmness. Well, if you want, you can open up your eyes and see if you can really feel that place. That sense of that coasting. If you got to that point. You didn't, just whatever point you managed to get to, slow down breath, that feeling of coasting, that feeling of something else breathing you. Just open your eyes for a minute. You know, feel that quiet, feel that calmness. It's not about what's in your environment, it's about what's inside of you. You can have a really noisy environment, come into that place, just that quiet. Not sure what that noise was. Kind of interesting. That straight noise from below coming up. It's pretty quiet out here, though. But that quiet, you can't notice that quiet if you're up here. So, okay, we're going to end here for today. To not get you guys out of that state of being that we've kind of gotten into a deeper level with here. So it's a good place to just, whatever you're doing next, whatever time of day it is for you, to, now you can move forward in whatever's next for you, from getting up to going to bed, and coming to, move forward with just a calmer state of being, more present, more aware, more able to process and move forward. So next week, we're getting through May here. So next week, same time, same place. That will be on the 25th. And that will be the last one for May before we head into June. Wow, already. So see you then. See you wherever we meet up again in the ethers, on the Pure Life Infusions group, if you're part of that, or wherever else. So thanks for showing up, and take a nice deep breath in and move on. Yeah, and thank you all for showing up. Yeah, you're welcome, everybody. Everybody's like, very good. All right, take care, everybody. We'll see you next time.